Happy Tuesday, sophomores. Hope you guys are doing super duper. So yesterday we looked at the verb ao, which is a very common verb meaning to go, and it's quite irregular. And if you think about the English word to go, it's also very irregular. So, like, for example, the past tense of go is went. All right, and those two words look absolutely nothing alike. So also AO has some really weird forms. So make sure you study those and review those in chapter 37. Okay, because it's a very common word. It's also a really good one to know. So let's take a look, though. We got a couple other things to talk about in 37. First of all, we're going to talk about place constructions, okay? And there are three primary place constructions that you need to know about. And we've talked about all of these. Place where, place to which, and then place from which, or separation. I kind of lump the two together. So normally speaking, when we're dealing with a normal word, place where is going to be the ablative case with the preposition in or sub. So if you look at that first example, I live in the city, in Urbe. Okay? Place to which indicates a change of location. Okay? So if you look at this example, this one's going to use the accusative. Okay? And you're going to have in, odd, or sub. All right? But you're going to have an accusative object. So this sentence, I am walking into the city. Okay? Or you could say to the city. All right? So place where is just a location. Place to which is a change of location. All right? And then place from which, okay, is going out of a location or from a location. And you can have ob, de, or ex for your prepositions, and then you're going to have another ablative object. Okay, so this sentence, I ran ex urbe, out of the city or from the city. Okay, so that is normally how you are going to deal with place constructions. All right, However, when you are dealing with cities, towns, and small islands, okay, and once again, these are specific names here. So the name of a city, the name of a town, the name of a small island, or with the three special words domus, humus, and rus. Okay. So if you're dealing with cities, towns, small islands, or those three words, all right, you're going to have something a little different with place constructions, okay? And one of the most important things to remember is with these, you are not going to have a preposition, okay? So place where you had in and sub normally, no preposition for cities, towns, small islands. No preposition for place to which, no preposition for place from which, okay? So that's going to be important to keep in mind. All right. Now, place where, instead of using the ablative, what you're going to do is use a special case called the locative. Okay. So in this little sentence, vivo Romae. Romae means in Rome. Okay. So I live in Rome. And we'll talk about how to form the locative in 1 second here. Okay. Place to which you just use an accusative, no preposition. So ambulo Romam. I am walking into Rome or to Rome. Okay? And then place from which, you're going to use the ablative, no preposition. Cucuri Roma. I ran out of Rome or I ran from Rome. Okay? So that is what you do for cities, towns, small islands, and then those special words domus, humus, and rus. All right? Now, the locative. This is a new case. All right? It's one we have not looked at before. And this is how the locative is going to be formed. So, if you are dealing with a noun that is of the first or second declension and is singular, all right, first, second declension and is singular, your locative is going to look just like the genitive. So, for example, Roma, Romae, your locative is Romae. For Ephesus, Ephesae, your locative is Ephesae. Okay, so it looks just like the genitive. All right, now how to tell the genitive and locative apart in a sentence would be entirely by, you guessed it, context. Okay, so what's going to make the most sense? So if you look back on the sentence Romae vivo, it would not make any sense to say I live of Rome. All right. So genitive it just wouldn't make sense. Okay, so you just have to go with what is going to work for context. All right. Now, for all other cities, towns, small islands, so if they're like a third declension noun, or if they're plural, this is important too, if they're plural, your locative is actually going to look like the ablative. Okay? So if you look at Syracusae, Syracusarum, or Athenae, Athenarum, it is a first declension noun. However, it is plural. Okay? So, what that means is your locative is going to look like the ablative. So your locative for Syracusae, Syracusarum, would be Syracusis. So I, arum, is, os, is. All right? And then for a third declension noun like Carthago, Carthaginus, your locative Carthaginae looks like the ablative. All right. Once again, with these as well, how do you tell whether it's ablative or locative? It's going to be entirely by context. Okay, so that is how you form the locative case. Now, those three other special words, domus, humus, and rus, these are the locatives for them. So domus, which is a new word, domus, domus, your locative is domi, at home. Humus, humus, your locative is humi, all right, on the ground. In the ground, I guess could also work, but on the ground more likely. And humus is rather unique because it's one of the only second declension feminine nouns, which was particularly rare. All right, and then rus has two locative options. You could have either ruri or rure. Okay, so either one for in the country. All right, so that is the locative case. All right, now, one other thing for this chapter. We're going to talk a little bit about time constructions as well. We've already dealt with time when or within which. You just use the ablative here, so it tells you when something happened. For example, this sentence, she was born on a happy day. All right, telling you when she was born. So it's just the ablative case, no preposition. And then you translate it with at, in, within, on, something like that. Okay, just telling you when something happened. Now, this chapter, we get what's called the duration of time. Now, duration tells you how long something lasts. All right, and the duration is going to be just the accusative. All right, and you're going to use the preposition for when you're translating it. Okay, so for this sentence, I waited or I remained for 3 hours, telling you how long something lasted. Okay, so that is the accusative of duration of time. All right, so that's a new accusative use that you can toss in your arsenal. All right, and we're also going to get started today on our translation. It's a little bit of a longer one, so I wanted to get started on it today. And you can access that on LMS, and you can print it off, or if you want to just use it on your computer, either way, okay? And this is taken from the poet Horace. It's not in poetic form here, it's been put into prose, but Horace, in this particular instance, this is from a work of his called the Satires, and satires are kind of used to kind of poke fun at people or institutions or just human nature in general. And this one in particular, Horace is kind of identifying a rather peculiar individual that he has a bit of a run-in with while he is out on his little stroll. Okay, so what I'd like for you to do today is translate lines 1 through 7. Okay, so 1 through 7. So if you'd pause the video and translate those lines, please. All right, let's see what you got here. So, ibam, that's from that new word ao. All right, it's the imperfect. So, I was going, I was walking. Actually, sorry, don't go I walking. I was going. Via Sakura, I was going on the sacred way, on the sacred road. And this is, as your note tells you, it's a road running through the Roman Forum. All right, so I was going on the sacred road. Ut soleo, as I'm accustomed, thinking about my affairs, my things. All right. So, cogitans is a present active participle because of that ens intus, so thinking, and then thinking about my affairs or my things. So he's just kind of pondering as he's walking. All right, and then ut soleo. You notice ut here. It does not have the subjunctive. All right, so you just translate it as I am accustomed. Okay, and then next sentence. A certain man known to me only by name runs up, and, with my hand having been seized, he said, "How are you?" Okay? So, occurrit is your verb. He gets it right up front. He runs up, and then you find out who actually runs up. It's a certain man, the quidam, and it's a certain man known to me, that's notus mihi, only by name. Okay, only by name. So in other words, this is a guy I've heard of, but he's not really a friend or anything. I've heard his name before. All right. And with the hand having been seized, so in other words, he grabs my hand. It's an ablative absolute, so with the hand having been seized. He said, "How are you?" Or, "What's up? Quid augis?" Or you could also translate, "What are you driving?" But the "how are you" is kind of probably a little bit better. So how are you? How are things going? Suaviter, sweetly, pleasantly. Okay. I say. So in other words, things are going all right, pleasantly. Suaviter, I say. And then we have a cum clause. Since that man was following, I, seeking terribly much to leave, at one time was going more swiftly. At another time, I was halting. Okay, so we got a cum clause here, and I think this one is going to be one of those cum causal clauses. Okay, so because that man was following me, or since that man was following me, telling you the reason why he's going to be moving faster and stopping and stuff like that. Okay, because he wants to get rid of this guy. All right. Now, quairains, another present active participle with the ens intus. All right, so seeking to leave. And then misere, miserably, terribly much. So in other words, I was really, really trying to get rid of this guy that just ran up to me and asked how I was doing. All right, I was trying to get him to leave me alone. Okay, and then we get the two actual main verbs. I was going and I was stopping. Okay, and you see the modo on the side. Now I was going, now I was stopping, or you could say at one time I was going, at another time I was stopping. Okay, and then you have calarius. All right, that is a comparative. All right, and here it's a comparative. I'd probably take it as a comparative adverb. All right, telling you how I was going. Okay. Continuing on here, ille loquabatur. That man was speaking, praising the roads and Rome. Okay, so that man was speaking, praising the roads and Rome. All right, so he was just talking about what a wonderful place Rome is. Hey, look at these roads. These are some nice roads we got here. Okay. Once again, laudans, another present active participle. Okay. Loquabatur there is a nice deponent verb. All right. The ba tells you imperfect. All right. Ut illi res nihil respondebam. So as I responded nothing to that man, he said, "You wish terribly much to go away." All right. So I think this guy has realized that Horace does not want to talk to him. So he says, "You wish terribly much to go away." All right. Abire, a compound of ao. Okay, so ao, remember, means to go, and then ab means to go away. All right. So as I responded nothing to that man, he said, "You wish terribly to go away." Okay, and then Horace answers with, "I am going to the house of a certain friend far across the Tiber," I say. All right. So I'm going, there's that ao, and then you have this place to which, to the house, odd ides. So to the house is ides would be a place to which, of a certain friend. So there's your genitive of possession. And then far across the Tiber. All right. So Horace lets him know where he's going. Probably not the best move here, Horace, if you want to get rid of the guy, but we'll find out what happens a little later. So tomorrow we'll pick up there. Okay. Make sure that you are reviewing those forms of ao. Review those place and time constructions. Okay. Also, be reading the Aeneid. Okay. You should have books 9 and 10 done by Thursday. Okay. I've got the audio up there. I'll try to get the reading checks up soon. Okay. But by Thursday, make sure you have the reading checks and the discussion posts and everything done for that for books 9 and 10 by Thursday. So hope you guys are doing super duper. Just one other thing too before we sign off. Just really want to encourage you, if you like Latin even a little bit, just I want you to think about Latin 3. It'd be a good time. So let me know if you are interested in pursuing your Latin career. Latin 3, just so you know, is for those of you that are worried about a workload. Latin 3 is not an intensive workload, especially not writing wise. As far as honors classes go, it is it's pretty straightforward. There's not a huge workload for Latin 3. So if you are interested at all, please let me know, because I'd love to have you join us. So love you guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye.